#1 actor in Lynchburg, in my opinion. I've said it on several occasions. And Chris Evans, how you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Are you trying to hear yourself?
I'm trying to hear you.
Are you trying to hear me?
I'm looking at you, watching your lips move.
Take the headphones off. Can you hear me? Now, can you hear me now?
I can hear. I mean, I'm watching your lips move, so I know you're talking.
Don't worry about it. If you can't hear them, just keep them on.
Can you hear now?
Basically, yeah. Well,
Can
I
you hear
hear
yourself?
No, I can't hear myself. I'm speaking. I hear myself talking.
Okay, you hear your inner monologue going on.
Yeah, I know who Chris is.
Okay, I got you. So Chris Evans, you're like you're an actor, man, extraordinaire in this area. Like you're in everything. Any play I've ever been in, you've been in. Just about, I think. Maybe an exception of 1 or 2. But you've always been there, and I always learn from you, and you don't even know it.
Ooh.
Every time we do a play, because I'm new to acting. I've only been acting for 2 or 3 years, but you've been acting like, I know you've been acting up a long time.
I have not.
You have not. But you're like well trained, like even like Shakespeare and stuff like that. I mean, I've seen you like do stuff that regular actors around here of us can't do. Like you transcend roles. I've seen you in so many different things, and you're always like bringing that fire to the role.
Well, thank you, sir.
But I do learn from you, like when I'm working with you and stuff, like even in the dressing room, I'm like, okay, how did dude put his makeup on?
He's stalking.
We're not supposed to talk about the makeup. I don't wear no makeup. I have no idea what he's talking about.
I'm like, what does he eat right before we go out on stage? You know? No, because you know, when you see somebody that is the best at their craft, and you want to do that craft, you kind of want to like pick up whatever tips that you can.
Well, that's what acting is all about: stealing what you see and making it your own.
That's right. So, how long have you been acting?
Oh, I guess all my life.
Okay.
No. Officially, I started acting in elementary school, like 5th, 6th grade, all because I hated to read.
Really?
Like literally, I did not like to read books, and I was given a book assignment, and I refused to read the book.
Okay.
So we had to get up in front of the class and talk about the book we read, and the teacher said, "You didn't read the book, did you?" I said, "No." So they sent us to the library, and it was me and another young man, and the librarian gave us this book about 2 boys who hated to read, and it was a play. So we started doing this play, and from that moment on, I've been on stage.
So see, not wanting to read, being a little militant about reading the book is what brought you to acting.
But now I love to read, and all kids should read, because reading is fun and fundamental.
It's fundamental.
Promote education.
But you have been like a militant in a lot of your plays, though.
Lately,
Yeah.
lately, and everybody keeps, you know, I guess I'm typecast,
You're typecast
as a militant
guy, you know.
I don't know why. I'm not militant.
Because you do it so well.
I'm soft-spoken and easygoing.
I don't know. I see some of your Facebook posts sometimes, and every now and then you gotta bust out. It's like he'll start by saying, "I'm not normally political." And you know from that point that it's about to go into some stuff right there. And I'm not normally political, but
yeah.
Then it's like they unleash the wrath of everything.
But it only lasts for a moment.
Only lasts for a moment.
Yeah,
But then by the time you finish, you're like, wow, you got to sit down, and rest for a minute, because he just went on a tirade. That's exactly right, you know. So, you know, you always remind me of Don Cheadle. He's one of my favorite actors, but a lot of stuff I see, and I'm like, Chris and Don Cheadle.
That's an interesting comparison there.
Yeah, you know. Have you ever done movies?
I've done a couple of independents while I was living up north.
Okay.
Well, in New York, I should say.
Yeah. Now, you from New York?
I'm originally from New York, Long Island.
Okay.
Long Island.
Long Island.
Not Guyland, Island. Long Island, Long Beach to be exact.
Okay.
Hurricane Sandy came through and destroyed my little hometown, but we're rebuilding, thank
Yeah.
God.
Awesome.
Lived in Brooklyn for a while, Jersey City, so.
Okay.
And now I'm here in Lynchburg.
So you've been involved with the Black Theater Ensemble, you've been involved with Renaissance Theater. Probably just every theater group around here has come calling at some point.
I'm honored to say that I've worked on almost every stage in the city of Lynchburg, except for, well, I worked with the students at Heritage, but I did not perform on Heritage stage. But I've been there, and I have not performed at Liberty.
Okay.
But other than that, I've been around.
Yeah, so
in a good way, people.
In a good way.
It's like I've been around.
I've been around, but in a good way. Let's clear that up.
Well, what was the most recent production you were in?
The most recent was I was fortunate to be in a reading at Sweetbriar College called In Sweet Remembrance.
I think Jamil, you went to that.
I did see that.
And
Yeah.
how was
Terrence
it?
It was
Chisholm.
very,
Because
good.
yeah, so I want to know your opinion of him as a.
No, he was very good.
Did he play the lead woman character?
No, he did not
Oh,
play
he
the
did.
lead one.
He is an actor.
Look, he's trying to put you out there.
I know, right?
He's an actor, man.
No, but he was
You see
very
one
good.
show and mention something like that.
No, I'm gonna tell you about that one show in a minute. But keep talking about it in Sweet
I know. I want to
Remembrance.
hear about
We're
that.
gonna get to that one in a
We're gonna get
minute.
to it, but
Yeah,
In
yeah,
Sweet
yeah,
Remembrance
we're
was
gonna get
very
to
good. He was very good in it.
Really?
And it was awesome. I can't wait until it's a full-blown play. It was very, very good
Well,
and
thank
very
you.
interesting.
Thank you.
Was he dramatic?
He had an
Did he
interesting
bring you to
dramatic part.
tears
Yes,
or
he
whatever?
did.
'Cause I've seen him in
He-
productions.
Actually, yes. His part, yeah.
Yeah, he'll do that because I've seen him play Martin Luther King,
Mm-hmm.
and I've seen him do other stuff. And I forget what the play that I went to, but I was in tears when he finished his part.
Yeah,
Like-
he had a dramatic scene.
Like wow, you know, it's heavy. Is it hard to when you're doing a role like that and you've got to get that deep and be that emotional? Is it real or I mean, are you acting or are you embodying that person? And
It's a little bit of both.
Okay.
In the acting field, they call it the method.
Right.
You know, that
Okay.
you bring yourself to that moment.
Mhm.
Me personally, I don't like to get caught up in it because I don't want to make it too personal.
Mhm.
And when things become too personal, they become painful.
Right.
So if you make it too personal, you're always in pain.
Mhm.
I believe in living in the moment. So if I'm living in the moment, I should be affected at that moment.
Okay.
And then I'm done with it. So
Okay.
there are some times when the reading example,
Mhm.
the first time we did it, all of a sudden hearing the words, I got emotional.
Mhm.
But when we had this last reading, I was sitting there on the side and I was listening to all the other actors and actors speak before I came up to my part, and the weight of the history from what they were talking about fell upon me
Right.
harder than I was ready for.
Wow.
And the emotion, it came on me. I don't know if it came out of me.
Right.
But as soon as that was over and we walked away, I had to let it go.
Mhm.
And some people don't do that.
Yeah.
So I'll live in that moment with that emotion, but after it's over, I have to let go.
But isn't that the fun though for you as an actor to have those moments come upon you? That's like the thrill ride for you.
It is. I'd rather know they're coming instead of having them hit me, because you can be quote unquote in that moment and it hits you and you forget that you are part of a production, part of a play.
Yeah.
And being the type of actor in the work that I've been doing recently,
Right.
with the history of the pieces that I've been working on,
Mhm.
the Sweetbriar in Sweet Remembrance, and then the play before that, Climbing the Mountain When There's Nowhere Left to Walk by D. Brown.
Mhm.
You take your history with you when you play these characters.
Right.
And granted, I may not have lived during that time, but the idea of knowing that someone did and had to suffer for
Right.
me to
Sure.
do what I'm doing,
Yeah.
it becomes a bit much.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you
yeah.
have to try to shake it off.
Sure. Sure.
You have to.
Yeah, I remember when you and I did Fences, August Wilson play, a couple of years back, and the essence of the play, like you and I, like the play was like 98 pages long, and I think you and I were in like 90 of the pages. So we had to spend, we spent 5 months in rehearsals and everything, and we got to like spend a lot of time playing up because we played best friends. We were the two main characters of the play, and it was my first real starring acting role. I had been in a couple of productions before that, like with smaller things, but that was the first time I had to carry, and the camaraderie that you and I had to develop as we were rehearsing and everything. While we were doing the play, there's a scene towards the end where, you know, our friendship kind of ends and you have nothing left to do with me and you leave me sitting lonely. And during the production, it really hit me. I was like, why is
sad?
I'm like,
look, you living through it.
because
you left me.
I know. I felt like Chris left me. It wasn't the character. It was like, how can he say that to me? You know, the opening night, I had to, and then of course, I came to my senses and realized. But the opening night though, it was because all those people are there, and then it's like, you know, the best friend, he just says, "Forget you." You know, he walks off, and it's like, "Hey, Chris don't love me no more, man. What's going on?" Thanks for coming on the show. We want to have you on back in the future, maybe after that wraps. We talk about anytime you got a production coming up. Let us know, man.
Oh,
Come on the
wonderful.
show,
Thanks
talk
a lot.
about
Thank
it.
you.
And, you know, like you're that celebrity actor dude in our area, man.
Oh.
So, congratulations, everybody. The actor, Chris Evans.
Thank you.